Welcome back to Movie Recap. Today we are going to be looking at The Beguiled. The Beguiled begins with a story. 3 years into the Civil War, a young girl is seen humming and picking up mushrooms in a forest when she comes across an injured soldier, presumably a runaway soldier, lying helplessly under a tree. She tells him it will be better if she takes him to her school than for him to stay alone and helpless in the woods. According to the girl, there are just 7 people in the school, all girls. She calls herself Amelia, while the soldier introduces himself as Corporal John McBurney. She takes him to her school, but he is already losing consciousness. She calls out to Miss Martha, the school head, to help her. Soon the rest of the ladies in the school come outside. Miss Martha instructs Amy to tie a blue rag on the gate, a sign to indicate to Union soldiers that they have captured a live Yankee, but as she refuses to do so, they all agree to let him recover from his wound before sending him out. They take John to the music room, where Miss Martha and Miss Edwina treat his injured leg. The rest of the students stayed by the door to know the outcome of the treatment. This shows how disconnected the girls must have been from the outside world. Miss Edwina comes out and tells the girls to go to the sewing room, as there will be no class again that day because of the distraction caused by the corporal. Soon, the Union soldiers pass by the school, with Miss Martha going out to attend to them. The girls think Miss Martha is going to tell them about John, but instead, she asks the soldiers if they have cartridges to spare as she has the revolver left with her by her father. She goes up to load the revolver. Miss Edwina catches Amy talking to John in the music room and sends her out, warning her not to go in as she pleases. Miss Martha goes to the music room to change the bandage on John's leg. John acknowledges the fact that Miss Martha is blunt with words, but she isn't falling for his tricks to make her like him. Miss Edwina brings soap and a razor to John's room at Miss Martha's request. He tries to flirt with her, even going so far as to ask her what her biggest wish is. He is doing this to gain the goodwill of the girls so he can stay at the school much longer. At one of the girls' night prayers, Alicia excuses herself from them and secretly goes into the corporal's room to give him a kiss. At dinner, Miss Martha announces that, as dedicated Christians, she will have them pray with the corporal in his room before they retire to bed. Just as they start to sing before the prayer, a loud thud is heard on the door. Everyone is frightened. Miss Martha tells Miss Edwina to stay with the girls as she goes to check the door. She picks up her revolver in her room before she approaches the door. She sees 2 of their soldiers at the door. They have come to get something to eat. After many pleas from the girls, Miss Martha decides to let John stay until his leg is fully healed. The next morning, Amy helps John walk in the room with a walking staff. John decides to tend to the garden in the school despite his legs not fully healed. He tries to make himself useful in a bid to make the women allow him to stay with them much longer. The ladies, including Miss Edwina, are all trying to get John's attention. Miss Martha, meanwhile, isn't falling for John's trick to make him stay much longer with them. She tells him to leave the school by the end of the week. Miss Edwina goes into John's room to check on him. John tells her to go with him and even tells her he loves her. He gets intimate with her by giving her a kiss, but Alicia knocks on the door to tell John that Miss Martha wants him to dine with them and breaks things off. The ladies wear their best attire to the dinner in order to get John's attention, with Miss Edwina's dress being the standout. Miss Edwina suggests they play some music. John compliments Miss Edwina's dress and asks if he can come to see her in the evening. Miss Edwina gets jealous watching Miss Martha and John have a chat. Miss Edwina puts on a sexy dress while waiting for John to come over. She hears some noise and decides to go check it out. To her surprise, she finds John making out with Alicia on Alicia's bed. John goes after her but Miss Edwina frightfully pushes him off the stairs. This causes a huge noise. Alicia immediately came up with a lie that John was trying to forcefully sleep with her before Miss Edwina came to fight him off. Miss Martha moves him to the table with the help of the girls before sending them out. She tells Edwina that they have to amputate John's leg because he is losing a lot of blood. John wakes up after a couple of days and of course, he is filled with so much rage as he discovers that he no longer has a leg. Miss Edwina runs in to calm him down but he wouldn't listen to anything she has to say. Alicia goes into his room with the intention of getting on his good side but things don't go according to her plan because John threatens her to get him the keys to Miss Martha's room. The ladies discuss what to do with him but Miss Martha tells them sending him away isn't the best option because he might lead his troops back to the school. John hobbles his way to the dining table with a gun scaring everyone. He tells them things will now go according to how he wants now and he is going to leave when he feels like. Miss Martha whispers to Jane to tie a blue rag on the gate. John catches her trying to put the blue rag on the gate and as she tries to run away from him, John captures her and takes her to a room. Miss Martha goes out to look for her and finds a way to get Amy out of John's custody. John follows them back to the school and threatens to shoot any of them that tries to do anything to get him out of the school. He shoots the chandelier off the ceiling to further frighten them. As he hobbles back to his room, Miss Edwina goes after him, much to the displeasure of Miss Martha. She locks the door from behind, pushing a table behind it to make sure no one can come in. She gets laid with him while the rest of the ladies are downstairs thinking of how to get rid of John. Marie suggests feeding him bad mushrooms since John likes the mushrooms Amy picked in the woods. Miss Martha agrees with her and instructs Amy to secretly go into the woods to pick bad mushrooms. At dinner that night, everyone including John gathers to eat. John apologizes to them for his outbursts and Miss Martha tells him they prepare the dinner in commemoration of his journey. Miss Martha offers him the mushrooms, which he gladly accepts. Miss Edwina isn't aware of the lady's plan to harm John with the mushrooms. John starts to feel discomfort as she struggles to breathe, and within some few seconds, he falls to the floor and dies. Amy goes out to tie the blue rag to the gate. They ladies sew a garment over John's dead body and leave him outside of the school gate. The movie comes to an end in what looks like an unpredictable ending. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.